Good morning. Today's story is Aunt Flossie's hats. Look at the hats. Let's see what it says. On Sunday afternoon, Sarah and I go to see great Aunt Flossie. Sarah and I love Aunt Flossie's house. It is crowded full of stuff and things, books and pictures, lamps and pillows, plates and trays, and old dried flowers, and boxes and boxes and boxes of hats. On Sunday afternoons, when Sarah and I go to see Aunt Flossie, she says, "Come in, Susan. Come in, Sarah. Have some tea. Have some cookies. Later, we can have some crab cakes." There's the cookies and the tea. And there's Aunt Flossie letting the girls in. We sip our tea and eat our cookies, and then Aunt Flossie lets us look into her hat boxes. We pick out hats and try them on. Aunt Flossie says they are her memories, and each hat has its story. There they have the tea and cookies. And look, they're starting to pick out hats. Hats, 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 hats. A stiff black one with bright red ribbons, a soft brown one with silver buttons, thin floppy hats that hide our eyes, green or blue or pink or purple. Some have fur and some have feathers. Look, this hat is just one smooth, soft rose, and here's one with a trillion flowers. Aunt Flossie has so many hats. On Sunday afternoon, I picked out a woolly winter hat, sort of green maybe. Aunt Flossie thought a minute. Aunt Flossie almost always thinks a minute before she starts her hat stories. Then she sniffed the woolly hat. "Just a little smoky smell now," she said. Sarah and I sniffed the hat too. "Smoky smell, Aunt Flossie?" Look at all the boxes. And they picked a hat. Let's hear the story about that hat. "The big fire," Aunt Flossie said. "The big fire in Baltimore. Everything smelled of smoke for miles around, for days and days. Big fire. Didn't come near our house on Center Street, but we could hear the fire engines racing down St. Paul. Horses' hooves clattering, bells, whistles. Your great-grandma and I couldn't sleep. We grabbed our coats and hats and ran outside, worried about Uncle Jimmy's grocery store, worried about the terrapins and crabs. Big fire in Baltimore." Look, there's a fire truck. And this fire truck is different than we have now. It's pulled by horses. This was an old-time story. Flossie closed her eyes. I think she was seeing long ago. I wonder about crab cakes. Did they have crab cakes way back then? Then Sarah sniffed Aunt Flossie's hat. "No more smoke smell," she said, "but I thought I could smell some just a little." Then Sarah tried on a different hat, a dark blue with a red feather. "This one, Aunt Flossie, this one." Aunt Flossie closed her eyes and thought a minute. "Oh my, yes. My, what an exciting day." We waited, Sarah and I. "What happened, Aunt Flossie?" I asked. There's the blue hat with the red feather. Big parade in Baltimore. Ooh, parade, said Sarah. We love parades. I made that hat, Aunt Flossie said, to wear to watch that big parade. Buglers bugling, drummers drumming, flags flying everywhere. The boys, the soldiers, you know, back from France, marching up Charles Street, proud. Everyone cheered, everyone shouted, "The Great War is over! The Great War is over!" And they are celebrating all the men that came home from this war. Let's have a parade, I said. Sarah put on the dark blue hat. I found a red one with a furry pom-pom. We marched around Aunt Flossie's house. "March with us, Aunt Flossie," I called, but she was closing her eyes. She was seeing long ago. "Maybe she's dreaming about crab cakes," Sarah said. Look, they're marching. Then we looked into the very special box. "Look, Aunt Flossie, here's your special hat." It was the big straw hat with pink and yellow flowers and a green velvet ribbon. Aunt Flossie's favorite, best Sunday hat. It's our favorite story because we are in that story, and we can help Aunt Flossie tell it. Look at that hat. And all the flowers. Aunt Flossie smiled. One Sunday afternoon, she said, we were going out for crab cakes. Sarah and Susan and Mommy and Daddy, I said. And Aunt Flossie, said Sarah. Aunt Flossie nodded. We were walking by the water and the wind came up. Let me tell it, I said. The wind came up and blew away your favorite Sunday hat. My favorite, best Sunday hat, said Aunt Flossie. It landed in the water. It was funny, said Sarah. I didn't think so, said Aunt Flossie. There they are walking along. And then all of a sudden, there goes the hat. It's headed towards the pond. And Daddy tried to reach it, I said, but he slid down in the mud. Daddy looked really surprised, and everybody laughed. He couldn't rescue my favorite, best Sunday hat, said Flossie. And Mama got a stick and leaned far out. She almost fell in, but she couldn't reach it either. The water rippled, and your favorite, best Sunday hat just floated by like a boat. Oh, look, he's all muddy. And Mama almost fell in the pond, too. Let's see how they get the hat. Now comes the best part, and I'll tell it, said Sarah. A big brown dog came. It was walking with a boy. May we help you, said the boy. My dog Gretchen can get it. The boy threw a small stone. It landed in Aunt Flossie's hat. Fetch, Gretchen, fetch, Gretchen, fetch. Gretchen jumped into the water and she swam. She swam and she got it. Gretchen got Aunt Flossie's hat. Hooray for Gretchen! We all jumped up and down. Hooray for Aunt Flossie's hat! It was very wet, said Aunt Flossie, but it dried just fine, almost like new. My favorite, best Sunday hat. Look, there's Gretchen, and she is swimming out to get that hat. What a good dog. Can your dogs do that? I like that story, I said. So do I, said Sarah. And I like what happened next. We went to get crab cakes. Crab cakes, said Aunt Flossie. What a wonderful idea. Sarah, Susan, telephone your parents. We'll go get crab cakes right now. There's that Sunday hat right on her lap. Do you suppose they get crab cakes? I think Sarah and I will always agree on about one thing. Nothing in the wide world tastes as good as crab cakes. But crab cakes taste best after stories. Stories about Aunt Flossie's hats. They are having crab cakes. And look, she's got her favorite, favorite Sunday hat on. The end.